Hi, I'm Jesse Christofferson, City Council member in Mount Rainier, representing Ward 1. We're here at the gym of Thomas Stone Elementary School in my district at the first annual Mount Rainier Community Services Fair. And the idea is to give people information about services that are available to them from the federal to the municipal level, and also from nonprofits and other non-governmental groups. With us today is Karen Pope Onwukwe, very well-known attorney in this area, apparently. Apparently everybody knew her before I did, but I'm glad to meet her today in person. Karen, can you please tell us a little bit about the needs of the seniors in this community?
Well, you know, one of the first senior centers that I ever did a seminar in was here. It's now called the Gwen Britt Senior Center. And what we found is that seniors, especially in communities like Mount Rainier and Hydesville, where I'm from, they are living independently, they're living at home, and sometimes they can be isolated. And so what I've found is that many times what they need or what they're searching for are answers to questions. They get documents in the mail, whether it's from someone who sends you something that looks like it's from the government, or it actually, many times I get calls from seniors and they've got a brother or a sister in another state and a guardianship has been filed and they've gotten a legal notification, or someone has died and they've received a legal notification. They don't know what to do with those documents. Or many times they've gotten a notice that they're a part of a class action lawsuit and they don't know what to do. One of the things that we try and do through the senior centers, we try and have free legal clinics where people can come in, ask questions, not feel intimidated because the clock is ticking and they have to pay a lawyer. So we want to be able to provide them with the ability for someone to look at what they have and say, yes, you need to see a lawyer, or no, you can handle this way. Many times, if you have a problem, let's say someone who came into your home to do work, you can call the Maryland Home Improvement Commission, and they will do the work for the senior. There are a lot of under the Department of Labor and Licensing, there are a lot of ways that you can regulate people. And I tell people, many times seniors are embarrassed if someone has taken advantage of them, but it's best to follow up, try and get some kind of resolution so that that person doesn't go on and do the same thing to someone else that they've done to you. So that's one of the really major issues. Another issue that I see a lot for seniors, and one of the things that we're dealing with here in the county, is accessibility. You know, people want people to stop driving, but then how are they supposed to get around? You know, people have to go to the doctors, they need to go to grocery shop, they need to go to church or synagogue or whatever their faith tradition is. How do they get there? So those are some issues that I think for seniors. And then the other thing, which is really heartbreaking, is housing. Housing that people can afford to live in. Many times as folks get older, I have clients that come into my office and they're struggling. They may not have a mortgage, but they've got property taxes. And in areas like this where the property values have gone up, the property taxes have gone up, but they don't realize that they can get their taxes reduced. And so we deal with that a lot. And just trying to get the word out that that's available to seniors, that if your property tax bill is too high and you don't have the income, there's a chart. And you can make up to $60,000, but if your taxes are like $3,000 or something dollars, you can get it reduced. And those are the kinds of things that as you get older and your income is not increasing, we really want to try and make sure that seniors are aware of.
Thank you. You mentioned free legal clinics. How can people find out about where and when to attend those clinics?
Usually, we had the Department of Aging, or the Department of Family Services, and the Department of Aging is under there. The Area Agency on Aging here in the county is very good about putting on programs, and if you are involved in a senior center, and I know some seniors, you go for your walks at the mall, or you are involved in a lot of activities at your church, but if you become or just visit a senior center and get on their mailing list or get on the email list, then you will find out about a lot of programs. You also can find out about programs on the cable network because they will be advertised on there. But the county does a great job of publicizing the forums when we have them. We just had on June 15th is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, and every year we either have something at Prince George's Plaza Mall, or in this year we had it at Iverson Mall. And that is an excellent way for people to get information. Every year on May Day, or Law Day, which is May the 1st, the Maryland State Elder Law and Disability Rights Section, in partnership with a lot of other organizations, we have a free legal clinic, and we usually have it at different senior centers all over the state. And in particular, I normally organize for Prince George's County, where we have volunteer attorneys that will meet with you and prepare a free, people love that word, a free advanced medical directive. And those are to me, I tell people, if you're a senior and you own a home, you need to have an advanced medical directive, and you need to have a power of attorney, and probably a simple will. Those things you need to do so that if you get to a point where you can't communicate with your doctor, you have someone that you've named that can talk with the doctor on your behalf. Or if you can't write your checks anymore, you have someone that can help you with that. And that's important. If not, we wind up in court. Every other Friday we have a guardianship court here in the county. And if people don't have anyone named, they wind up in the adult public guardianship program, where the county, the area agency on aging becomes guardian of your person, and attorneys like me, we become guardian of your property. And I'm a nice enough person, but I think you want someone that you know and you trust, that you think would be able to make those types of decisions for you.
Let's say I live here in Mount Rainier, and I'm advancing in years, and I would really like to age in place, but I'm worried that circumstances won't allow that. What's the first step I should take to ensure that I can be comfortable and secure as I get older?
Well, we have now what we call NARCs, naturally occurring retirement communities. Hydesville is one, Mountain Rainier, and where we have people, and because I live in a modest little bungalow over in Hydesville, and I can live all on one floor in my house. That's one of the first things you have to look at. Do you need to modify your home? Because you can get to a point where one step is too much. The county has programs where people can get help with modifying through it's state money that comes down through the county to modify your home so that maybe you need to put a ramp in so that you don't have to climb steps. Maybe you need to put railings in your toilet or in your bathtub so that you don't have to worry about falling. That's a huge problem, because you can be hale and hearty, have one fall, and then you're out of your house because you can't stay there by yourself. So the first thing is to look at your house and see how you can modify your home so that you can stay in there. You may need to change the size of your door so that a wheelchair can go through the door, things like that. Then I think the next important thing is to identify your support system. Whether it's going to be, I know that Mayor Miles has a group of folks, seniors, join it. If there's a group of seniors, or if there's not one, create one. And get that support system in place so that you don't have to go to the grocery store by yourself. I have folks I talk to, and they say, well, I'd like to buy a case of water, but I couldn't get it in my house if I bought it. Well, you know what? There are people that would love to bring a case of water to your house, but they just don't know you need help with things like that. That's what you need the support system for. And I think in the type of communities that we live in, it's a multicultural community here in Mount Rainier. People care about one another, and they care about their neighbors. And if you let them know, they'll help you. So I tell people, more important than money as you get older are relationships. If you have relationships with people that you can trust and that care about you, you can have, these can be your golden years, which is what you want. Now, the other thing I have to mention also is that, and this is very important, we have an increase in elder abuse. And many times what happens is people are in their homes and they allow a family member or someone to come into the home, and they can be verbally, physically, financially abusive. You do not have to live in those kinds of conditions. You can call my office, my number 301-927-3145. I will confidentially put you in contact with we have an excellent group at our state's attorney's office here in Prince George's County. We are not having it. You don't have to live in fear in your own home. And so if anyone is watching this and there are people that, sometimes it's people don't talk to you, people don't make sure that you get your medication, that is abuse. And so what we're saying is you deserve to live out your retirement years in peace and harmony. And that's, I think, an important piece. So.
Well, thank you so much for giving your Saturday to Mount Rainier area. It's a great and growing need here for sure. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I'd like to say kudos to you for having the vision to do this, and for all the elected officials that came through today. Sometimes people are just in things for the camera, the press, but when things come from the heart, and this is something that came from your heart, because you care about the community, I think that those are the things that last. So good luck, and I hope that to see you next year.
Thank you very much.